Hey guys, Ari and Pars, and I'm back with another update on my hair transplant progress. It's been it's been over 1 year. To be exact, it's been 1 year and 9 days since I had my transplant done at Bangkok at the HD clinic. And as you can see, fresh haircut, everything sort of grown in, and I just wanted to provide you guys a recap of the months that I went through and where we're at now. So, as you go back to my earlier videos, you can see that I had a bald spot on my crown up here, and also I had the sides here receding, and they had receded maybe just about size of an egg or something. So I visited the hair transplant clinic in Bangkok. I met with the doctors and the team there. They actually sort of went through the whole process with me. I had my transplant done. I stayed in Thailand for a while, and I've had follow up sessions with video and in person with the clinic after my transplant. And overall, look, I'm still on the medications. So I started to take right after my transplant. I started to take the finasteride tablet. That's one every day, and it's a monoxide one every 2 days, or some people have like half every day. So, in terms of the progress, obviously the results speak for themselves, and I'm very happy. I kind of have the same hair back as I did 15 or so years ago, so quite happy with that. But I had some questions here that I took from the comments of my other videos that I hadn't addressed, and I hope to address them in this video. And look, so if I've missed something, please do leave another comment and I'll come back to you and provide another response or update to the video. So, in terms of progress, you should really set your expectation to be able to see the full results at about the 9 months or 1 year point. So, when you get to that 9 months point, for me, I started to see the results that I was really after. And then from the 9 months until the 12 months point, depending on the situation or the medication, you do still see a lot of hair loss. However, that's because of new growth. So you don't see the aftermath of your normal hair loss where you've got bald spots and such. But I guess it gives you more confidence that the new hair will stay. So, look, when you first have the hair transplant, that first 30-day window, that for me was the most critical. So that first week, your hair is extremely sensitive. Your skull has just been through trauma. It's been bleeding. It's had its, little micro holes or needle going into it, making a lot of incisions. So in that first week, you should be super careful. And for me, that was the hardest. Even with a shower, you got to use a cup and put a water in it and then put it over your head. You got to use baby shampoo. You got to stick to what the clinic gives you in terms of their instructions, which is, a couple of pages long. So after that, you start to sort of see the scabs dry off and fall off, and that's all just normal. It's still visible that you've had a transplant. Excuse me. So at that time, I suggest, if you're not working or if you are working and you can stay remote, do that. Um, After the first 30 days, I guess that's when you start, if you've shaved your head for the transplant, you start to see your previous hair start to grow back. Don't be surprised if your hair has gone into shock and you've lost some of your existing hair as well. That all grows back. It happened with me, but I wasn't too concerned about that. So look, that first month is past, and next month is pretty much just a malware version of the first month. The third or fourth months, you start to see your normal hair growing further and further, and maybe some of the transplanted hair hasn't fallen off, which also happened with me, which was good. So at least that gave some sort of definition. And then as you progress through the months that come up, you start to notice a lot more of that transplanted hair fall off and be replaced by different baby hair, new baby hair. Now, the problem that I had is I had different length. So, of course, you've got the transplanted hair in the middle here, and you've got your front lobe or whatever you get done growing in at a different length to the rest. So the trick with that is every time you go get a haircut, let the barber know that you've had a hair transplant, and let them know that you want to try to get things to be even out, and they'll cut your hair to try to accommodate for that. Another complication that I had and I'm experiencing is that my hair grows backwards. The front here, which is taken from the back of my head, is sort of like what's growing forwards, so it looks weird if I don't blow dry it. So obviously the solution for that is to blow dry it, and I can start to see that it's starting to sort of formulate a normal pattern that matches my previous hair. So it is kind of merging. So it's not so bad, and it's not recognizable unless I don't fix it or I just don't tell you about it. So I think that's, one of the things you might see and you might get worried about. But to me, it wasn't a big deal, and it's worth, having hair regardless of which direction it grows, especially if you've got a potato face like mine. Um, so yeah, look, from then on with the transplant, after that 6 months to that 9 months point, where you start to sort of see the new hair growing in, especially for me, a lot of this hair grew in, it didn't fall off, but it grew in quite fast. But the middle, I was still seeing a bit of a bald spot. However, look, I've just come out of the shower, but I don't believe you can see any right now. And when I have the haircut done and they show you your hair with the mirror in the back, I could only see like one dot, which is pretty normal. Yeah, so that's the hair transplant, I guess, progress, and you can see for yourself. I'll try to do a cut from the back of my hair if it's possible, but honestly, there's no scars, and it might be because I'm olive, and I don't know. You would expect those white little incisions from where the donor location is to have a bit more, pigmentation, but I don't. So thank you for that. I'm very happy to the doctor um, at the HD clinic and the team there. So let's talk about one of the questions that I got, and it's quite a common side effect, and it's to do with the finasteride medication. And look, I know people, before I jump into this, I know people who've had hair transplants, taken the medication probably 1 or 2 months or not at all, and now they really look sad. Like, you kind of see the transplanted hair still there, and then a lot of hair loss in other locations. And I think that, to me, in my opinion, and I'm not an expert, like I told you, I'm an idiot to my in this field, but it's yeah, like, take your medication or you're gonna lose your hair. And I believe the medication is something you will want to take as long as your doctor recommends you to, or if it's necessary, as long as I need to, I will continue to take it. Managing those side effects, that is kind of where you need to be, I guess, mindful. So one of the subscribers posted a question: how did I deal with the weight gain? Was there weight gain from finasteride? Yes, but just to add a disclaimer, I, throughout the pandemic, gained about 10 kilos of excess weight. For my American friends, it's like 22 or something pounds in your terminology calculations. So that weight gain was already there before I went into the transplant. After the transplant, I gained another 8 kilos. So just about, under 20 pounds, 18 pounds or something. So that, to me, was, I think, in response to the surgery, because I have hypertension, I have high blood pressure, so I think a lot of that caused me to bleed more than the average person in the surgery. So after that, I was literally just eating a lot, recovering, just taking it easy, not moving around, and combined with the medication, my body did not react well, and the weight gain shot. My weight shot off the roof. Now, what did I do about that? So I'm still managing that, but now in that 1 year point, I really had to educate myself, like you are educating yourself with this video, about weight, about how insulin is there, how ketosis could help me, how sugar is bad for me, I had my blood work done and really just dug into it. Right now, on the 6th of January, I've lost about 12 kgs. So I'm less than what I was before I went into the transplant. I'm about, I think, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds less than what I was before the transplant. And I'm still on that journey to reach back down to a healthy BMI, which I want to get to 75 kgs. And, being right now at 82 kgs, I'm not far off. I can keep on this with the medication. So while I'm taking the medication, I'm also, uh, you know, limiting my calorie intake as well as making sure I do my 10,000 steps and having a remote job. I actually work for a living and, having this very good flexibility. Also, you need to make sure you incorporate a bit of activity and you're not just, sitting at a couch or like I am that right now and not, getting up and walking around. So, yeah, side effects, weight gain, yes. The other big question, erectile dysfunction or sexual problems with having that finasteride pill. I can tell you one thing in my experience, right? And in my experience, it's done the opposite for me, and I don't mean it opposite that I had any problems, but let's say in the past, if a friend of mine would uh, ejaculate in say I don't know 5 minutes, if he was doing that with this medication, it might push you out to 30 minutes. And some of us on this clip might be very happy about that. But look, it's a case by case. I know that some people in other videos say that they just lose the desire completely. For me, not at all. Never happened. Anything, I think it's had some unrealized benefits that are positive. But I'm not a medical, expert. I'm an idiot. Don't listen to me. Try it out for yourself with advice of a doctor. Okay, so what else? What other questions do we have here? Yeah, look, with the whole, if I was to, if I had the option, would I do it again? Or even in the future, would I consider another hair transplant? Yes. If in the future I start to lose hair from somewhere else, of course. It's not, when you first do it, my doctor told me that, you can have like 6,000 donations from what I have from the sides and the back. And she talked about like roughly half of that. So she left enough for the future if I need to. And that they will cover that in your consultation. Anyway, I'm thinking about doing more videos, but I need some inspiration or motivation from you guys. Would you like to know about a product called Saxenda? It's something that I've recently discovered. It's a bit on the pricey side for weight loss, but it works. And my experience on it so far, 5 kgs down. It boosted my ability to lose weight by, I think it does something inside your brain where you stop to overeat. And for some of us who might like to have a cookie every now and then, I don't know, who like to maybe smoke and get the munchies, this is very, very good as a counter medicine. And it also, it's quite helpful. So let me know. If you want me to do some videos on Saxenda, leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll continue doing this. Otherwise, thank you. It's been a great journey for the last 1 year. For those of guys who followed me, left comments, awesome. I've never got to meet you guys, but it's fantastic always to see people engage, and I'll continue to respond as much as I can. Bye bye.